So then, this is Skyrim, as I'm sure many of you have already realised. For anyone that's not familiar with the game, it's an open-world action-adventure game released by Bethesda back at the end of 2011, in November, I believe. Now, with this video series, and I say series because I'm afraid it's going to take more than one video, for a couple of reasons. I want to take a look at the overall gameplay systems. This is just me picking up some junk, milk, necklaces, crap I can sell. Yeah, I want to take a look at the overall gameplay systems, because in Skyrim, in Elder Scrolls Skyrim, it's also worth mentioning, it's part of the Elder Scrolls series. It is the sequel to Oblivion, essentially. The gameplay systems are very intertwined. Combat is tied into progression, which is tied into stealth, which is tied into, kind of the economy and the questing. And so I want to have a look at the basic systems, the cameras, the movement, the combat, and all the different progression systems, of which there are many. Really in a slightly more modular fashion than I have done previously, because there's so much to cover, and for some reason the game is very unstable, so it's very tough getting a single take video the whole way through. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to kick off the first video by looking really for a quick recap of the core motion and gameplay systems. Motion, combat, looting, that type of thing, because it's been a long time since I've played this. It's been about a year and a half since I had a proper play. And whilst I do have over 600 hours gameplay, in probably over 1,000 hours modding, I would expect at least, I haven't played the kind of the vanilla, the starting, the generic version of the game since early 2012. So it's highly possible I remember things differently to they were. So we're going to have a little look back over and see how things work. But I would say that if you are very familiar with the basic camera, movement, and combat of Skyrim, you can skip this video and go straight to the next one as soon as it's uploaded, because that's all I'm going to look at in this. But I'm going to try and do it as quickly as possible if you do want to stick around. So we can walk. There's someone around me. You can walk, you can run, you can sprint. Sprint uses stamina, we'll come back to that later. You can sneak, and this little bar turns into an eye when you get detected. And you get little damage multipliers with your weapons when you actually manage to attack somebody from the stealth mode. We can swim. You can see a big puddle down there. Sorry, I'm just removing my helmet because I hate them. Yeah, so you get a damage bonus if you actually manage to attack somebody from stealth, which I'm hoping we'll get a chance to show in a second. In addition, look at this, I think we might get a chance. In addition to this, you've got lockpicking and pickpocketing. Pickpocketing. So that's in the game. And then we'll take a look at the hand system in a minute, because the hand system's quite cool. And that's really how we equip and attack. I don't think I'll be able to sneak up on this guy to pickpocket him without him attacking me, so we'll just show the stealth multiplier. And I hit the log. As you can see, the eyes started to open and I got detected. That was either a terrible shot by me, probably that, or some dodgy hitboxes. What we're seeing here is the effects of Skyrim's slightly wonky nav mesh, the mesh that lets NPCs navigate around the world. However, massive world in 2011, to be expected. Just one of those things we've got ourselves spoiled with time. We expect NPCs to be able to navigate as well as players, and we'll leave this guy in his pants and steal his bread. So ultra quick look at how the hand system works whilst upgrading our armor to this hide armor. As you can see, the bow is a two-handed weapon. The right trigger draws an arrow, and the left trigger does a bash. If you hit the bash button whilst you have an arrow drawn, you can zoom in later in the game. But we'll talk more about what skills you acquire later. If you equip a weapon in the right hand alone, you can swing it. You can power attack it, which uses stamina, deals more damage and staggers more. You can block poorly, but you can block. You still take damage. You can bash, which interrupts people's power attacks sometimes. You can dual wield weapons, and you can attack alternately. Dual wields cannot block, but they can do this neat two-handed attack. But for some reason, the two-handed attack stops you. You can do this ridiculously powerful two-handed power attack. I believe, I can't remember whether it goes off the attack speed of your left or right hand, but let's not get too into statistics and details and formulae, because that's just going to get crazy. Maybe later. There is also two-handed weapons in the game, which work the same way as if you only have a solo one-handed. You can block, you can attack, you can bash. And there is a magic system. And yep, this is the world map. When I said you can explore, you can really explore. There is a magic system and a power system. Let's go magic first. As you can see, magic is the same basic rules as weapons. You equip them in your right and left hand, and they act independently. If you use magic with a shield, much like you can use swords with a shield, or pickaxes with a shield, you can block, bash, attack. So that's basically the combat system. You unlock the ability to kind of put the hands together and do one single powerful blast instead of independent fire blasts and stuff like that later in the game. But again, we'll get more into progressional abilities later. And we will quickly see if we can rush through here, show a quick look at stealth in action, and a quick look at what systems? A quick look at the lock-picking system. If I can remember not to pick up the what's it called for a change? The key. So as you can see, these guys can't see me. It's just a bar, and the eye will slowly open as they become suspicious. Now I'm going to use a power on these guys now, and this is used with a different key. I'm not, because I haven't equipped it. I'm going to use a power called Battle Cry. It's only usable once a day, and it's what's called a racial passive. There are different races in this game. There is somebody down here, and everything's dark. There's one of the graphics that I have running. I don't remember whether or not I mentioned this, but I have a few graphical mods running, but nothing that affects the gameplay. So I seem to have run out of magic stat. Get to that later. Oh wait, I do have it favorited. Let's get my steel sword out. There's the favorites menu. You can swap weapons. That's in the vanilla, but I'm not using the vanilla version. So let's take care of these two.
What was that?
If they'd be so kind as to go into the light. He can try a power attack. He's got a 200 weapons. I'll be able to show them off. So as you can see, weapons, without going too detailed, I think that's a finishing move. There's a chance of that to happen under a certain health threshold. Weapons appear to hit the center of the screen rather than their actual path, but we'll go more into why that may or may not be an issue later on. When we talk about combat in more detail. Now, I'm going to try and sneak up on this guy here, but I don't think it's going to work. He got suspicious. Oh, this might work. Oh, look at that, we stealth attacked him. I can't see him because I'm not using a torch and I'm in doors with silly mods on. So that was me failing to interrupt him. Now, he's got a key for this door, as you can tell. We've played through this place once or twice. And this is a lock-picking system. It's very similar to some of the games like Dying Light. You turn this pick thing, and you're trying to find the sweet spot. If you turn it and it moves a little bit, it means you're close. And then you just have to adjust it. God, that's sensitive. And it broke my pick. I've got 4 left. Yeah, if you twist it on a place where it's not the sweet spot, it'll break. And you just have to slowly adjust, trying to find the place. So that's lock-picking. Take one final look at 200, and then we'll call it there for this. I forgot to pick up a weapon, but luckily there's one here. Boom! 200 weapon. Much bigger, much slower. Yeah, and that's basically it. Actually, the best way to demonstrate pickpocketing is just like this. If this guy was alive and I snuck it behind him successfully, I can open his pocket, and then there would just be a percentage chance for me to get these items without him managing to, I guess, acquire it. For him to be notified. So there's the basic movement systems and combat systems of the game. They don't seem overly complex, but there's plenty of depth in there. Probably plenty of tweaking needed to make it a great game combat-wise, but we'll come back to that. They're the basics of how it works. If I've missed anything obvious, I apologise. Just drop a comment and remind me. Magic powers, shouts. Oh yes, I did mention shouts and powers earlier. The scream I did that made the guys run away was a power. You unlock shouts, which I'm sure everybody saw in trailers, which is they basically are elemental and non-elemental effects. You scream, you shoot a fireball, you scream and you knock people back, that type of thing. And they charge up tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, depending on how long you hold the button, and you have a cooldown for all your shouts based on which one you used last. So if I use a tier 3 shout, it'll be 10 seconds before I can shout again. It'll be only 2 seconds maybe if I use a tier 1 shout. Now, those values are a bit small, and they vary depending on shout. But we'll have a more detailed look at the systems in a minute. But I want to have a look at attributes in the next video and what role they play. So happy gaming if you're taking a break between watching, and I'll catch you later.